Hello and welcome to Capacity TV. Today we're joined by Michael Wheeler from NTT Communications. Michael, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So what would you say have been NTT's biggest achievements in 2014?
From an overall network perspective, we've deployed in some new markets around the world and really just seen our traffic as a network grow pretty significantly. We also have had some real movement forward in the 100 gig front, which we've been talking about for several years, but we started deploying end of last year, our first 100 gigs in the network, continued that through the course of this year, and then have actually just completed some of our first sales to end customers of 100 gig ports. So that was kind of a big milestone for us. And then recently we were awarded the Capacity Awards for Best Global Carrier for Data and Best Carrier for North America. So we were really excited about those awards and excited to be part of that group.
What do you think were the reasons behind you winning those awards, and how do you expect that to help the company move forward?
I think some of the same reasons I just mentioned, some of the growth we've seen in the network, adding market locations in Asia, for example, in Indonesia and in Thailand last year, deploying into Bangkok, and then we've also just announcing our deployment into Boston as a new market in the United States. So I think those were a big part of it. We also added a number of new locations as far as buildings in existing markets as well, in various spots around the world. So those, I think, have been a driver of winning those awards and a driver of our success as an organization.
Could you give us a little bit more information about the expansion in Boston?
Certainly. It's actually one of the first times we've added a new market in the United States in several years. So we're pretty excited about that. Our business in the U.S. is very focused around the markets where the largest amounts of bandwidth are exchanged with customers and with other networks. Boston has been a market we've looked at for several years, off and on, and it really became kind of an opportunistic situation for us from a customer demand perspective. And then it's certainly going to enhance that part of the network from a northeast part of the United States perspective. So really both drivers were important, but I would say customer demand was kind of the thing that really kicked it over the line for us in regards to moving forward with the project.
Could you expand a little bit on the 100 gig strategy that you talked about earlier?
Certainly. So 100 gig in general terms is just kind of the next size port type up from 10 gigs, which is a big part of our backbone network today, as well as our customer interconnections that we have. So we kind of look at it very similarly to the change that occurred from single gig E to 10 gig in the 2006-2007 timeframe. However, it does create a bunch of new realities in regards to the backbone and making sure we have enough resiliency in place in the backbone, as well as creating kind of a new platform for customers to connect to us with. There are a major amount of cost and kind of economic factors in regards to the deployment, and that was part of the reason why it's taken so long. To be honest, we probably would have liked to have done it a couple of years ago, but the economics just weren't there from a hardware point of view and even from a network cost point of view. We identified those cost savings at the end of 2013, put the first stuff in the network there, and really continued that through this year, and it's really helped us from a cost perspective going into the next couple of years of planning for the network. And in Europe, what we did was deploy our first 100 gig POP from a backbone perspective. Late this year, our POP in Luxembourg was added on a 100 gig E backbone as well. So we've really seen growth, particularly in the US and Europe on the 100 gig segment, and we'll certainly see that in Asia going forward.
And how have NTT Communications expansions in Asia helped your growth as overall in the company?
From a growth perspective in Asia, the new markets we've seen in regards to Thailand and Indonesia last year have been great. Our uptick in Indonesia has been even beyond plan. We've really seen a lot of traction in that market in the last year. We look at those markets as just new opportunities for us where we didn't previously have a point of presence. So as part of the whole of Asia, they're still smaller, but from a new and a kind of a greenfield opportunity point of view, they're important for us as we look at expanding and growing the network physically.
Thank you very much for joining us today on Capacity TV.
Thanks for having me.